We are often taught that wearing our hearts on our sleeves is a virtue, that being vulnerable is a sign of authenticity. Society frames this constant emotional honesty as a strength, a way to connect deeply with the people around us. In the actual practice of power, however, this transparency is a liability. When you broadcast your every frustration, joy, and insecurity, you are essentially providing a map of your own weaknesses. You show the world exactly where you are soft and precisely where you can be struck. Think of every interaction as a transaction. An insult is a hook, a bid to extract your emotional currency. If you become angry, you've accepted the transaction. You pay them with your peace of mind, validating their power. This makes you predictable. When a manipulator knows exactly which button to press to get a specific reaction, they stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as a machine they can operate. Being predictable in this way makes you easy to distract and even easier to destroy. The alternative is a state of formlessness. Water has no fixed shape, so it cannot be grasped or broken. By detaching yourself from your immediate emotional impulses, you lose the rigid edges that give your enemies a clear target to hit. Robert Greene notes that throughout history, the most effective figures understood this. They knew that a ruler who operates on anger or pity is a ruler who is easily led into traps by anyone who knows how to trigger those specific feelings. When you express every fleeting emotion, you effectively give others the ability to dictate your internal state. You stop being the one in control and start becoming a target that responds exactly as it's prompted. To regain your autonomy, you must first let go of the ego's need to be understood. Most people feel a desperate urge to explain themselves when they are misunderstood or wronged. You have to kill this desire. Correcting someone requires an emotional investment you cannot afford to make. This is the core of the gray rock method. When a manipulator tries to provoke you, you give them nothing. No anger, no tears, no justification. You become as interesting as a stone, absorbing their frantic energy without returning a single drop of your own. This triggers a biological panic in the other person. Human brains are wired for feedback loops. We yell and expect a response of fear or counteraggression. When that loop is broken by a complete lack of emotion, the brain perceives the silence as a threat it cannot categorize. You can apply this tactically through the active silence. When someone hits you with a loaded question or a manipulative statement, do not answer immediately. Look at them and let 5 seconds of absolute silence pass. Hold their gaze without any visible reaction. In those few seconds, the aggressor will begin to second-guess themselves. They'll wonder if they went too far, or if you know something they don't. The silence forces them to confront their own insecurity. By simply controlling the timing of your response and withholding your emotional currency, you have shifted the balance.
You haven't said a word, but you have established that you are the one who dictates the pace and atmosphere of the interaction. When manipulators realize they've lost their influence over you, they won't just walk away, they will escalate. They will launch testing campaigns, artificial crises or harsher insults designed to see if they can break through your armor and drag you into the mud. This escalation is a sign that your strategy is working. Like a storm screaming against a mountain, the chaos will eventually exhaust itself against the unyielding stone. You remain while the storm breaks. This is where your silence creates a vacuum. In social dynamics, people feel an overwhelming pressure to fill empty space. When you offer no feedback, the predator will often begin to stumble. They will over-explain their actions and reveal their true intentions, effectively projecting their own internal instability onto you because you've given them no other place to put it. You are no longer the victim of their games. By becoming an impenetrable void, you allow the manipulator's own tactics to rebound back onto them, leaving them exposed and unsettled. This level of detachment results in a sharpened clarity. When your mind isn't clouded by the fog of rage or a desperate need for approval, you see the world as it actually is. You can analyze situations coldly, without the interference of your own biases. Emotional people are often blinded by their own hopes and fears. They ignore red flags in partners or miss the hidden agendas of colleagues because they are too busy reacting to their feelings.
They walk into traps because they only see the bait. Indifference has a unique weight in human psychology. There is a tension in the way we view those who don't seem to need anything from us. The more you chase someone's approval, the faster they tend to run. But when you are truly unbothered by whether a person stays or leaves, that lack of need becomes a force of its own. By being dangerous enough to not need them, you become the most magnetic person in their world. This detachment leads to the power of the strategic exit. Because your sense of worth isn't tied to any external deal or relationship, you can walk away the moment it becomes toxic. Your willingness to lose everything makes you impossible to threaten. In an era where everyone overshares, maintaining a private internal world creates a sense of mystery that acts as a deterrent. People are hesitant to strike at what they do not understand, fearing that any move they make might be playing right into a trap they haven't seen yet. This level of self-mastery is often a solitary path, but it is the only way to remain beyond the control of others. When your internal state is no longer up for negotiation, the external world loses its primary leverage over you. You are no longer navigating someone else's script. You are moving through the world entirely on your own terms.